Hello, you are welcome to the Diary of Truth. This is Oluseye. Now, in my last video, I described this man, the Messiah that had just arrived in Israel. And I told you about his brief history or biography of his life. And I did promise that in the new video today, I'm going to reveal to you some secrets of his miracles. You know, one of the things that Jesus said before he left, when his disciples asked him of the signs of the end, is that he warned them to be careful. And he said unto them in Matthew chapter 24, from verse 4, he said, and Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Look at the video here. This video, you can see, this is a celebration in Israel. They call it the celebration of light. Now, in this celebration of light, you will see that this man Yenuka was given a firebrand. He was the one that lit this fire. And then at the end of the day, celebration went on as usual. Now, we are going to see at the end what happens to within that fire. You know, I told you that when he lit the fire, there is a demon that came out of the fire. Now, I will get back to that. But now first, I want to talk about what are the miracles that he has been performing. Because before Jesus can give this instruction, Jesus was very clear that in the end time, so many people will come. Look at this man, Yanuka. See how all these rabbi, see all these professors of religion from around the world, both Jews, English, and even Americans, they come to visit him, they honor him, they bend down, they bow to him, they stoop low, kiss his hand in honor, as a respect for this man. And this man is a very young man of just about 30 to 34 years of age. And you can see all these professors, all these rabbi, top Sahindri rabbi, they come down to his level and they even claim that he's the Son of God, that he has come down from heaven to bring light into the world. They say that only a man that is from God can have all the knowledge that this man has, simply because he can recite the whole Torah, that's the Pentateuch, like we know it in the Christendom, and then the Talmud, which are a lot of other books that are written by the sages and the rabbis in the Jew custom, and then telling the stories is like the basis for the Jewish law. So he knows all these things, and offhand he could recite it. He could cite and quote from each of these books, that is over 100. You can imagine somebody being able to recite the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation and still be able to quote verse by verse as at will, as if the Bible is open before him, and he can recite it, he can read it, he can spot out or bring out anything and then interpret it to adapt to the life of an individual or nation. That is the extent of his knowledge. And so they believe that somebody that has this knowledge cannot be an ordinary person. It must be somebody that comes from God. And therefore, they have, according to claims, that they have secretly installed him as a Messiah, or perhaps as the king of the Jews. And then the same claim says that installation or that coronation, the sacred coronation, will not be enough, but that maybe very soon there's going to be an open crowning as a Messiah or as a king of Israel. That is yet to be seen. But now, the most fascinating part of this man is that he performs miracles. And miracle is part of what makes him to be the Messiah. Because knowledge will not be enough, even though the knowledge he has in itself is a miracle. Because it takes miracle for somebody to be able to understand and to cram the entire Torah and Talmud and all the other other Jewish writings. But the aspect of the miracle added to it, in fact, somebody said, we are witnesses to the personality from the past amidst spiritual giants who protected the Torah and brought miracles for all. They are referring to this man Yanuka, that he brought miracle in addition to his knowledge of the Torah and the Talmud. And somebody else said, a soul like his does not descend in every generation. It descends once in many generations. That means they are likening him to the like of Jesus Christ, to the like of maybe Muhammad or the head of other religion, which means this man has been accorded with great respect, honor, and worship that belonged to the personality of a deity. Somebody else said it is impossible to find the accolade to describe him. All areas of Torah, the prophets, the writings, the Talmud, that is the Bafit, and the Midrash, and then the Kabbalah. All these things, everything is fluent as if laid down before him. So, in another place, somebody said, already in his youth, he merited the Torah, permeating his entire being, like guiding light through the generation. So it's like they see him as a light to shine throughout the generation. They say, blessed are you, that's still referring to this man. They say, blessed are you who has a portion of his knowledge to those who fear him. Another person said, he is pure, he knows everything. Whatever one speaks with him, he is familiar. Nothing is hidden from him in the revealed or hidden Torah. There is nothing he does not know. That is why they worship him. Then there is this saying also that say, he is a unique and special soul that has descended into the world to illuminate the world. You can see. They realize, they see him as a light that descended from heaven to brighten the light, to brighten the world. They see him as a light that descended from heaven to brighten the world, both for the Jews and the entire world. That is, they are seeing him as the Messiah to deliver Israel, number one. Number two, to deliver the entire world. That's the way they see him. Then, to crown that up, somebody quoted from, they apply Job chapter 22 verse 28 to him, that is the fulfillment of a prophecy concerning his arrival. And what does that mean? Is that you will also decree a thing, it will be established, or it will be fulfilled, according to them. In connection to that verse, they say, many have experienced salvation through his blessing, referring to Yanuka, and in the power of his Torah, and witnessed miracles transcending the force of nature. This is the peak of it. They are attributing Torah as his word. That means they are personalizing Torah to him. Now, that is it. But one of the reasons this happened, like I read before, has to do with his miracle. What are the miracles he performed? Yanuka has performed about 6 miracles now. And one thing about his miracle is that everyone who receives miracle from him gives the glory to him. They glorify him as a person instead of directing the glory to God. And that is one of the attributes of an Antichrist. An Antichrist will receive all the worship and all the glory. Now, that is not to say that this man will be the future Antichrist. I'm just saying, the Bible says that there are many Antichrists in the world, and that a spirit that does not accept Jesus as the Son of God or as a Savior of the world is an Antichrist. It's a spirit of Antichrist. So, and anyone performing miracle without the name of God, without the Spirit of God, is an Antichrist. Is performing it with the spirit of the devil, with demons. And that must be clear. Now, the next thing, miracles, like 6 miracles have been performed. For example, There is one man, this particular man, he was sick on a wheelchair and was getting transfusion. He was hospitalized. And then Yanuka comes in and then touched him, telling him to rise. Now, immediately that happened, this man stood up from the bed and was totally made whole. The man that was made whole while sharing his testimony said in his own word, "In one moment, I was walking, an incredible miracle with Yanuka." That means attributing the glory to Yanuka. There is another man that Yanuka met. So when Yanuka met this man, Yanuka told him and said he was going to meet his soulmate the same day. And according to him, when he was sharing testimony, he emphasized today. That means it seems the only word that Yanuka told him was, today is your connection with your wife. And then that very day, the man met the lady that he got married to. He got married to like weeks after then. That is not the end. There is this man, this particular man also on the screen that is diagnosed with malignant tumor. And then when Yanuka told him, your pain will be gone. And immediately that happened. But that is not the end. He also saw a man. There's a man who was released from prison. This particular man was released from prison after encountering Yanuka. Yanuka just told him he was going to be free. And miraculously, without any legal intervention, he was released. In fact, the lawyer was surprised. The lawyer had to come and say it could only be miracle that would bring that man out. But it happened after it was declared or prophesied by Yanuka. It seems Yanuka has to be a man of prophecy. He operates in the prophetic. At least so far, there have been two prophecies. First concerning the one with soulmate, and then this one that was out of prison. And his prophecy were accurate and precise. Then number 5 miracle was that a man had intestinal pain. He was also in the hospital. This man couldn't walk. He was to undergo surgery in a day's time. But at that time, Yanuka visited the hospital. And there was contemplation that whether they should bring the man down. But the man couldn't come down. So I think then Yanuka was informed. And I think Yanuka went upstairs to meet the man and said a 2-word unto him, "Be healed." And immediately he said that the man got up and was instantly healed. So he didn't need to go through that surgery anymore. These are some miracles that are performed by Yanuka, at least those ones that are made open, that are published. Apart from the fact that the miracle of his own personal knowledge of Torah and Talmud and other writings which talk to him or stick to him like a magnet and inseparable. Now, when you see all these miracles, we are tempted to believe that anyone performing miracle must be from God, because miracle originates from God. But like I read before in Matthew chapter 24, that not all miracles are from God, because Jesus actually emphasized 3 times in the same verse, saying, be careful, don't be deceived. In the same passage that I read, if you read further, if you look at verse 23, verse 11, he still emphasized, and he said, and many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many, because iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. In verse 23, he repeated it the same again. He said, then, if any man shall say unto you, lo, there is Christ, or here, believe it not, for there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. That is thick. That the miracle will be so real that even those who believe in Jesus or who are actually righteous will be swayed by those miracles and want to turn after them. But he now said, behold, I have told you before. He said, I have warned you, be careful of the miracles that you see or that you seek, or where you seek those miracles. In verse 20, he said, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, that is Christ or Messiah is in the desert, go not forth, behold, is in the secret chamber, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. He's saying that Christ, when is to come, the Messiah, the original Messiah, when is to come, he will not come in secret places. He will not come into, everybody will see him. That's why the Bible says, behold, he comes with cloud. All the eyes will see him. Now, what we are going through, what is happening in Israel now, is because they have rejected the original Messiah. The real Messiah has been rejected. And that is why they are, and to crown it up, many are seeing the light secretly. Because the Bible talks about the 144 that will come out after the rapture. They will be part of these people that are following, that are seeking Messiah now. But at that time, rapture will have opened their mind, their eyes. The scale in their eyes will have fallen off. Now they are seeking to one Messiah, a human Messiah, because they have rejected Jesus as their Messiah. But at that time, by the time the rapture will take place and the saints are taken up, then suddenly they will realize that truly what Christians have been saying is the truth. And at that time, many will go down on their knees and pray and seek God. So as these Jews will be seeking God, praying for their salvation, confessing Jesus as their Messiah, God will be adding them one by one to the number of the 144. And their mission will be to proclaim Jesus, to tell the other Jews, to tell the people in the world, wherever they are scattered to around the world, the 144, will declare the true Messiah. They will begin to preach the kingdom of Christ that is coming. Because at that time, it will just be like 7 years to the coming of Christ, between 7 to 3.5 years, because they will prophesy for the first 3.5 years when the tribulation, with the lesser tribulation will be taking place. They will prophesy calling people to it, because at the middle of the tribulation, just before the great tribulation takes place, they will be raptured to heaven. That is what Revelation picture in the story of the woman pregnant with child, and whose child was taken up to heaven and then persecuted by the dragon, who bring water out of his mouth, out of the mouth. You can see that in Revelation chapter 12. One of these days, I will dig into that part. But the thing is, for now, there's going to be tribulation. It will be too late for the entire world, for people to meet up with the rapture, except the chosen ones, this 144 that God has appointed. These are the first fruit unto God that God has appointed to be raptured at the middle of the month, and at the middle of the week, which is before the great tribulation begins. But before then, there will be a lot of move against them, but God divinely will protect them. That will be the purpose of sealing them from destruction. They will be protected from all plagues. They will be protected from the anger of the dragon and of the Antichrist. But then, now, many of them they are learning secretly. They have not yielded to God, but by the time that time will come, when Christ will come, they will be converted. At least some of them will be converted and will be turned into evangelists. But before then, as the world goes to this age, very soon, with the signs going on now, the tribulation is about to start. The building of the temple, the arrival of the heifer, the red bull that is to be that to be used for the sanctification. We can see the rumor all around the Messiah of Israel has come. although we are not certain, but yet it's a sign for Messiah to for the Jews to unanimously agree and then follow after a man to be a Messiah as young as breaking every protocol, every Jewish religious protocol, calling somebody a Messiah. It is a long time. It was, it actually is an history because it has not happened for the Jews rabbi to call somebody a Messiah. Nobody has come this close in millennium. So for this to happen, it means prophecy is gradually unfolding. There are a lot of prophecies that have been said in Talmud, and then in the Torah by the rabbis that are unfolding. But this particular one now is eye-opening. So any believer that is still living carelessly, any sinner that is still adamant in sin, I think it is time to rethink and begin to consider this coming kingdom and the experience of rapture that is about to take place. As I conclude, let me move on to the main purpose of this video. Remember I said that I want to show you a clip about this man. You can see from the screen there's a celebration of light that took place in Jerusalem, and people, rabbis, Jews, they all gather lit in celebration and in joy, in happiness, singing, and then rejoicing in this celebration. Then they gave Yanuka the honor of lighting the fire for this celebration. And I just wanted to take a minute, just watch this clip, and then I will be back. Now, that was Yanuka that lighted the fire. And then, from another angle, from a distance, a video coverage show the light, and they show something rising out of the fire. And you can, if you see very well, it looks like a spirit or a dragon lifting from the fire that was lit by, can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that something greenish rising from the fire, moving up to the sky? That to me is not a flame, and it is not a smoke. It is a spirit, it's a demon rising from the fire. What is your comment? Let me see from the just comment from below, and then you can see again in the slow motion. You can see it whitish, and then gliding in the sky, and then moving up that way. Leave your comment below, and remember that Jesus is coming. Please do not be deceived. Do not be deceived. Jesus is coming very soon. If you have not surrendered your life to Jesus, please do it now, and the Lord will help you. It will be well with your soul in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.